Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 8 of our classroom management and behavioral analysis. So, our reminders for this week, our last week in this course, is to please post the philosophy of classroom management to the chalk and wire and to the Moodle forum. The papers need to be posted in both areas, and make sure that when you post to your chalk and wire that you do answer the questions that are required. So a reflection for week 7, when we're looking at increasing desirable behaviors while decreasing undesirable behaviors. Today I had the experience and the opportunity to assist a principal at a school that little different from what I'm used to. And one of the things that I noticed was the first student that I was able to introduce myself to was a kindergarten student who continued to run out of his classroom the entire time. I know for at least an hour, probably about 5 times, he ran out of his classroom, was being very physical and inappropriate towards other students. My first question was, had they completed an FBA? Had they gone through the MTSS process? Are there any interventions in place just to make sure that I was following through with their expectations? And none of it had taken place whatsoever. I then looked in the system and I noticed that the student had probably about around 9 to 10 write-ups where he had been violent towards other students and also running throughout the building. So my immediate quest, I guess, and goal was to build a quick relationship with him with the amount of time that I had. And I was able to do that I created a superhero behavior chart. And I told him, I said, this might be just for today, but today this is our goal sheet. And we were able to get through half of the day with success, with him being focused and also engaged. And during that time, I found out that he truly, truly loved math. And I said all of that to say, when we are noticing behaviors that are inappropriate, we as the instructional leader in the classroom must take the steps to find out, why is this happening? If there are triggers, if we identify the triggers, what are some ways that we can decrease the undesirable behaviors and at the same time increase what we want the student to do and what the expectations are. So the other thing I wanted to note that these are 2 pictures of classrooms, and in the same building that I was in today, I noticed that, and these are not classroom pictures of the building, but just examples. So one classroom I went into was well organized, very appealing to the eye, very student-centered, smelled really good. Students were truly, truly engaged. And I remember at one point in time during the day, one student got upset, threw a chair, but was able to talk about everything with the situation and return back to his work without the teacher having to control the situation. He was able to walk through the steps that she had put in place for him. And that was in the classroom that was similar to this. Every other classroom that I went into that reminded me of this room over here, there was a lot of chaos. It was very loud. Students were pretty much having conversations that were not on topic. And I say all of this to say that it is very important that we prepare environments for our students that allow them to be successful, that allow them to be able to think free of chaos in a place of peace. And so, yeah, I had all of that experience today. Also, on a lockdown for 4 hours due to a parent calling in saying she was going to shoot us. But we got through it and ended the day with a huge smile on my face. So we got through it. All right. So when we're looking at our outcomes for this week, This week, you will identify and describe the core principles of PBIS and how it is used effectively in a collaborative school environment. And just to toot our horn, at my home school, we were actually recognized today with an award for one. I believe we received the bronze award for our tier 2 PBIS expectations that we had in place. Your assigned readings for this week is reading chapter 12 in the Charles text and chapter 10 in the Martella text, and those PowerPoints are available. You are also needed to read the tiers 1 through 3 supports on the website, on the PBIS website, .org school tier 1 supports. And I will tell you, this website is really, really helpful when you need any support when you're creating behavior plans, coming up with different interventions for students to put in place. I truly believe in working smart and not working hard. If someone has already come up with something, utilize it. And so we're going to get into our discussion questions. This week you do have 2, and it prompts 1 is becoming familiar with the PBIS materials on the Ohio Department of Ed website. And in your post, you are to define the PBIS, describe the key components of PBIS, and discuss at least 3 advantages of using PBIS in a school. Prompt 2 is time. Remember at the beginning of class, week 1, we had to do our 8 fundamental questions. But I want you to go back and revisit those 8 questions. And next to it, you can do a copy and paste. And put during week 1, or you can put first and second for each one, and basically state whether or not your views have changed during this course, and make sure that you document your answer with the information you've learned from this class. All right, your assignment is not the classroom rules and routines. It's actually your philosophy and management. I meant to change that title. I will change that before I upload this to our class. But it is philosophy management, your philosophy of classroom management. And you are to use your APA format and follow the format completely that I posted to the class, okay? In our week 8 devotion, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's Jeremiah 29:11. And I love this picture of this little girl, and it's basically asking you the question, are you ready? And so as a lot of you are already in the classroom, and some are entering into the classroom, it is basically just remembering that our ultimate purpose is to seek God in all that we do. That's all you have to do. If you focus on your why, and we've talked about your why are you in this? What gives you your drive to go into your classroom every single day, or your drive to continue to stay in the program? Think about that, and think about how you, as the instructional leader in your classroom, can prepare an environment that your students feel safe, they feel comfortable talking to you, because every child will come to you with something in there. We used to, I heard a speaker actually at the beginning of the school year, and he spoke about how students come to school with a backpack, and they come with different things in their backpack. And we all will have students that will have a backpack with things in them. A lot of it could be emotional abuse. It can be physical abuse. But you have to remember, with them carrying that heavy load, that it is not our job to make that load heavier, but it is to make it lighter. And again, make them feel safe. And so just, I would truly, truly love for you to, if you need any help this week, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till the last minute. If you want me to look over your paper, just send me an email and you can attach it. I can look over it, let you know what corrections you need to make. Also, if there's any assignments that you wanted to, I think a few of you I've had to reach out to regarding some of your assignments. If you need to get those in, make sure we get them in before Saturday, or you can just contact me through my email or through our Moodle forum. I look forward to reading your papers, and you have a wonderful, blessed rest of